Hello. I'm doing this video uh, kind of about the shootings that have been going on with the police the last couple of days, be it white officers have killed black males. One video was it was live as he was shot and killed. I will never suppose to know what a person with black skin, African American descent, um, Arabic, any kind of minority that encounters a white cop with possibly an agenda. And be it that he is racist or having a bad day, it shouldn't matter. The problem is there, to me, is there are so many guns out there, and most gun owners are very responsible and with a concealed permit, handle it appropriately. There is a lot of violence out there, people burglarizing and carjacking people. The boldness that has come with people who have no desire to work or maybe are denied the opportunity to work because of the color of their skin or how they present themselves. I don't want to suppose that this is something they've chosen to do. It may be a matter of survival that somebody does to develop an assumption that every person of color or person wearing clothes, a certain type of clothes, be it, uh, Arabic or, you know, any style that isn't mainstream, that someone could judge that to be wrong or evil is beyond me. And I'm going to be quite honest. I grew up in an area of Metro Detroit that I guess, looking back at it now, yeah, it was very segregated. The one school system I went to through grade 9, I can only remember maybe two minorities in the whole time I was in school. When I finished school in another school district, I had a few Arabic kids, but there was only one black family in that city. Everyone knew who they were. I didn't judge them. I was friendly with the family, not to the point of being friends. I'm a bit of an introvert that way. A lot of times my friendships are based upon having worked with someone or having had common experiences. I wasn't exposed to that. Therefore, uh, most of my friendships or camaraderie with people of different descents has happened since I've been working. Um, and I generally don't hold anything against a person because they're Arabic and they observe other holidays. Maybe they believe different ways than I do. Um, with people of color, blacks, I have a hard time even trying to say it in a way that I wouldn't be offending someone. I just look at people as people. And, the actions of these cops are not representative, I don't think, of how most white people think. I believe that cops have a lot to deal with. A lot of the people that are doing wrong, they have to deal with them. And there may be issues with post traumatic, I don't know, but I believe the police departments are not doing enough to make sure these men are fit to be on the road. And shooting someone like that when they are trying to get their ID. There's been too much of this going on in the last couple of years, and it seems to be getting worse. I just, I have no issue working with someone of any background. You're there to work. The only issue I have with someone when I'm at work is that person is slacking or not putting forth as much effort as they probably should be, maybe because they don't like the job. So therefore, that would be the only reason I would have. But that's anybody of any color, race, creed, whatever. We're at a job. We're supposed to work together. But the amount of these shootings that are going on is downright ridiculous. That people are dying, it's ridiculous. And it's almost like the justice system in this country, at some point in the last few years, has become broken. These cops that are shooting people are found not guilty, not responsible for their actions. And I find that despicable. The important part of anyone's life is be responsible for your own actions. And if you know that there is a part of your life that you're lacking in, you work at it and you try to make it right. And if you wrong someone, try to make amends the best you can. These are things that I've learned as a recovering person. I've been judged. It's not the same thing as racial judging or, religious judging, but it's stigma. And stigma, whether it's because of color, because of religion, because of something, I can't say that I can't control it, but it's something, my addiction is something that was inside of me that I activated. And we're only now finding out more about addiction, and this is veering off the road. To me, it doesn't matter the color of a person. If you're being pulled over for a broken taillight, there's no reason why a cop should be pulling his gun. you're having a bad day, slow down. You know, as a cop, you know, everything in the video with the one gentleman where he was shot in front of his girlfriend and his daughter. He was respectful. He tried to do all the right things, and the cop just he he reacted too quickly, and he reacted, and it seems to be the same standard that is going on with politicians. They are forgiven for abhorrent behavior that is both discriminatory and hurtful to its citizens, regardless of color. And at some point, we as Americans have to hold each other to a higher standard. And if the justice system is not doing this, then we have to look at ways in which we can change it and repair it and bring justice to those who are being faced with injustice, families that are being torn apart by people and their families being shot over nothing. And, you know, recently they started using body cameras, and that's eliminated some of the stuff. I mean, sometimes it's the perpetrator who is creating a lie. There was a woman who accused a cop of improper behavior, and the body cams showed that he was not. There has to be a way that it can be shown that proper action is always being taken. And with this guy who was shot in front of his girlfriend and his daughter, there's video to support that this gentleman should be up on a murder charge. It may take a few days for them to process the full extent of what's going on, but it's very clear. It's not an uproar. It's not a debate. The debate is the officer shot the guy over a stop that did not even really require him pulling out his gun. The guy had no criminal record. He was employed. He worked at a public school. He was beloved by coworkers. This is a senseless shooting, and justice needs to be served for the people who have suffered the loss. That's just my point of view, and I think a lot of Americans feel that way. I know damn near every minority feels that way, but there's a lot of white people that feel the same way. And it's silly to blame white privilege on working class whites when we're just living within the construct of what is. And yeah, we have to have a debate about it, and I don't know what the answer is. The redistribution of wealth, I just don't see that happening. But as humans, and black people, Asian people, Hispanic people, Arabic people, we're all people. It's a spectrum. We're all the same species. Just like there are a million different kinds of dogs, it's the same species. And somehow some way along the way, we have to learn to live together. I don't have to believe as Joe does. I don't have to worship as Steve does. But I have to respect his right to be able to do so. And they don't have to throw it in my face. But I'm not throwing it in your face. If there's a legitimate intersection where someone is not being allowed to do something that is not harming someone else, that needs to be looked at. But to interfere and disrupt and end someone's life over trivial things, there should be a price to pay for these cops that are killing people. And that, I don't know. I mean, I can get inside somebody's head, but who could think that a human is disposable? That is a sick mind. It's as sick as people being destructive with cats and dogs. There was a story. I'm not sure what state or what city, but some young men were lighting fireworks. I believe firecrackers. I could be wrong. And they had cow. And I think we have to look at that and wonder if there is an aspect of people. There's a class of people that don't understand how to be humane to both animals and humans. Those are the people that need to be locked up at jail. The certainty of that. And prison, to me, isn't what it should be. I think there should be more work done towards trying to socialize these people in such a way that we help people understand their wrongs, help them to understand and socialize them in such a way that they can re-enter society and be productive. And there's a lot of hard work in that, because if people have these people who are in prisons have traumas and injustices, those have to be looked at, and they can't be overlooked. They can't be minimized. We have to look at people for what they are, the stories they have, and try and work it out. Outside of people who are murderous and are considered serial murderers or people who will do harm to others, I think people in general, if they can be proven to be rehabilitated in such a way they can be beneficial to society, we should do it. I don't think that, overloading these prisons with people is benefiting anybody. Most definitely the people that are going into them, because it is only making them worse. And I think dysfunctional behavior that I am sure goes on in those places, and the anger and the frustration can only cause, it can spread further harm to people who are already just looking for help. And sometimes I think we just tend to overlook people when they ask for help. And I believe that's wrong. This is my 2 cents worth on what's going on with this. I don't believe that anyone should be shooting at anyone outside of having your life endangered or having being in fear of being robbed or having someone dear to you having their life threatened. Outside of that, I just think that, as a general case, that people have to do what they have to do in order to guard against these things, because the reality of society is there are these people out there that do not want to do jobs that we have out there that are available. God knows what they want to do. We have to look at that, and we have to look at a way of changing the way. We've had all these changes in technology and the workforce, and yet the government has done nothing to adapt to this world, and there is so much corruption within the government. They tend to overlook the fatalities of its citizens. They're here to serve us. They're here to offer us protection. We are being taken for granted, be it white, black, Asian, Hispanic. It doesn't matter. Government is not looking after us. It's become so very clear in my life in the last 40 years. People in office want what they want, and people who are in the working force, we are just refuse and collateral damage for the things that they want. And that's a sad statement on humanity and the U.S. government. But I think as a collective, citizens can stand up and send a message to the people that serve us, both within the state and within the country, that we're not going to take this anymore, that we deserve better, and you're going to give us better. If not, we're going to get rid of you, and we're going to get rid of some of the things you have going on. I think it's very important for people to stand up for themselves. We've gone along for 240 years, and everything has been pretty good. But the last 30 or 40 years have been, I think, part of this country is deteriorated, and the people that serve as citizens take its citizens for granted. And I think that we need to raise a voice on many issues, be it race, be it humanity, addiction, mental illness. There are a lot of things that this government needs to do better. And I think if we push to have those things done, they will be done, and they'll be done better. But they need a guiding hand and people who are on the ground floor and see what's going on. This is my video for today. Thank you.